I'm Alyana Gomez.
And I'm Alicia Vitarelli. Sunday on FYI Philly.
Stars of Broadway take center stage.
We can't stay here, Chicago's too hot.
As we shine a spotlight on the arts in Philadelphia.
Some of this is top secret.
Go backstage with the actors.
There it is. As they prepare to take their show on the road.
Oh, you saved me.
Plus, learn about programs fueling future stars.
And action.
Hey everyone, and welcome to FYI Philly. We are inside the beautiful Academy of Music.
One of the historic venues for the arts here in Philadelphia.
Ensemble Arts Philly is the organization that harnesses the power of the arts in our city with incredible venues just like this. And of course, the Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts.
Among others. Yeah. And we are going to preview all they have to offer over the next 30 minutes.
Starting with an incredible slate of Broadway shows being brought to Philadelphia. The Broadway series is a must-get ticket for anyone who enjoys shows presented at the highest levels of theatrical artistry.
We have an amazing mix of new programs, popular classics coming back.
Each of the shows is staged in one of three historic theaters.
The Academy of Music, the Miller Theater, the Forest Theater.
Chicago's too hot.
Philadelphia always wants the best of Broadway close to home.
I said you wanna be starting something.
Broadway kicks off 2025 with a music icon taking center stage at the Academy of Music. MJ the Musical tells the story of Michael Jackson.
It's an honest retelling of Michael's story.
The show visits the King of Pop as he prepares for his 1992 world tour, Dangerous.
There's a TV interviewer who takes Michael through history of his life leading up to that point.
Before he was 10, he was all but supporting his family as this incredible superstar. And as he goes through his life working with his brothers and becomes the pop sensation of Thriller.
You can't win.
Capturing the essence of Michael Jackson on stage is carefully choreographed.
Put a little spice on it.
It's basically its own version of a style of dance.
Yeah, there it is.
It's not just, here's the moonwalk, it's more just using what was Michael's style of dance to help tell his story.
It's paramount. The movement quality of the person playing Michael Jackson brings you back to when you first saw him move.
As Michael Jackson's rise from childhood star to global icon takes the stage.
We start to see Michael Jackson's effect on the world around him and him discovering his own power beyond just music and writing and dancing.
And Juliet flips the script on a classic.
What if Juliet didn't kill herself after Romeo dies, and the adventure that she goes on?
It's a musical featuring a hit list of pop anthems from Swedish producer Max Martin.
He's an incredible superstar in the music world.
He's written hits for everyone from John Bon Jovi and Celine Dion to Britney Spears and the Backstreet Boys. Rachel Webb plays the role of Judith on Broadway.
But in the spring, I will be your Juliet.
She took us backstage at the Stephen Sondheim Theater where And Juliet earned 9 Tony Award nominations.
I get to wear all these beautiful costumes. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous, right?
Inside the wig room,
Knock, knock. Come on, Philly.
each piece is designed with the character in mind, but also the person under the wig.
Based off of the actor's personality.
Being able to express myself and also represent my culture.
As the retelling of Juliet's story takes an empowering twist.
How she goes to discover love, but also discover herself.
This is the first touring production for And Juliet.
It's a blast. I think people will love it.
From New York City, on Broadway, And Juliet is coming to the Academy of Music in Philadelphia.
Some Like It Hot is a new stage production of the classic 1959 Billy Wilder film.
It's been very much updated.
The new script was co-written by Matthew Lopez and comedian Amber Ruffin.
It is more reflective of the real world, and it's so much fun.
The big band music of the original is still part of the show. As hijinks ensue when 2 men go on the run after witnessing a mob hit in 1930s Chicago.
We can't stay here.
Really fun romp. They decide to join a all-women's band.
Very physical dance, a lot of great tap dancing.
The show earned 13 Tony nominations during its Broadway debut in 2022.
Going to see a Broadway show invites people to the possibility that they can be anything they want.
Amber Ruffin was also part of the team that updated The Wiz.
We were told to shoot for the moon, and we did.
The Wiz is a retelling of The Wizard of Oz from a different perspective.
Come on, Dorothy!
The Wiz is a black version of The Wizard of Oz.
South Jersey native Nadja Hayes is part of the ensemble on Broadway.
The Wiz was my Broadway debut.
The iconic stage production influenced a generation of young people.
The Wiz did so much for me.
It was really inspiring to watch black people have so much fun on stage.
The music is a collection of memorable tunes. And the set design is massive.
We have a very wide range of dancing throughout the show. Hip hop, some African dancing, a lot of jazz.
As Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and the Lion make their way to see the Wizard.
You are all you need. Whether you are listened to or not, you are valid.
They all just realized that what they needed was within themselves already.
The season concludes with an epic adventure.
Life of Pi is the story of Pi Patel, who is making a voyage from India to Canada. Pi's family owned a zoo in Pondicherry. He is involved in a shipwreck and is trapped in the middle of the ocean.
Pi is trying to survive in the ocean in a lifeboat with these 4 companions. One of them is a Bengal tiger and one of them is a zebra, and how he tells the story in his mind.
A film of the same name was also adapted from the award-winning novel that sold over 15 million copies worldwide.
It's a play, but it has that extra measure of these incredible puppets and incredible storytelling.
The animals are so lifelike and amazing, you kind of forget that the puppeteers are even there, and you really get wrapped up in the story.
The puppets were created specifically for the show by Finn Caldwell and Nick Barnes.
Because most of the play takes place in the ocean, they have an aesthetic of driftwood or found object, and you will recognize them as zebras and giraffes and hyenas and tigers, but they're beautifully handmade.
The show earned 3 Tony Awards for its innovative storytelling design.
The show is one of the most beautiful shows I've ever done. It's also one of the hardest shows I've ever done.
For the puppeteers, bringing the animals to life is physically taxing.
Someone on all fours bent over inside of the puppet, moving around while there's another person working the hind legs in a crouched position, following that person around, and then there's a person on the outside holding the puppet up and operating the head at the same time. It's important to me to broaden people's view of what puppets can do.
Themes of tenacity and determination come through as Pi endures the unforgiving elements of the ocean.
It's about how Pi basically finds within himself the courage to survive.
There is the power of belief and perseverance. There's the strength of family and how close they stay with you.
You're going on the journey with these people as they tell the story, and that's something that I think Broadway does better than anything else.
This season also features classic favorites like Come From Away. The show is based on true events after 9/11, when planes flying across the Atlantic had to divert to Canada.
A town of a few hundred people went to a town of almost 10,000 people, literally overnight.
The residents of Gander, a small town in Newfoundland, welcomed the stranded passengers.
About 12 actors playing all these different characters. It fills the Academy so well.
A reminder that we are all part of one global family. In the 30th anniversary tour of Riverdance, some troupe members weren't even born when the show originated.
This generation of Riverdance have grew up wanting to be an Irish dancer because of the show.
When I first saw Riverdance, it was on TV, and it just blew me away, and there was that instant obsession. It's very intricate, complicated footwork.
We can have like between 25 and 30 dancers on stage at once. Imagine the Rockettes, but doing Irish dancing.
The performance shares an amazing story about culture told through dance.
We show the story of the Irish people immigrating to America. They meet all these new cultures, and then a new generation return home to Ireland to show what they have learned.
If you're interested in tickets for those Broadway shows, you can find more information at 6abc.com/FYI.
I love all the shows.
Hear how 3 sisters work their way up to the best seat in the house.
This week's FYI Philly is sponsored by Ensemble Arts Philly, the new presenting brand from the Kimmel Cultural Campus.
We are back at the absolutely gorgeous and stunning Academy of Music at Broad and Locust Street.
Honestly, it might be the most beautiful theater in the country. Now, for 3 Philadelphia sisters, Broadway offers a way to strengthen their family bonds.
2, 1.
Meet the Bruce sisters.
I'm Tyra. I am the baby sister.
I'm Nicole, but my family calls me Nikki.
And I'm Ella May, but I go by Ella.
They are lovers of Broadway.
Yay! I love all the shows. Like, I love everything. I don't think there's been a show that's missed, and we've been coming to a lot of shows. You're transported to another world. It's just so special.
The sisterly tradition started in 2006 with Tara and Ella.
Our first show that we saw was Wicked. We were like, we don't have to go to New York. The next season, we subscribed. We're like, we can get our tickets. It's less expensive. You have it all planned in advance, and then you just go.
And they make a night of it.
We were trying to make time as siblings to be intentional and do something that we enjoyed and time together. It was perfect.
It's such an excuse for you to get out of the house, and it's like your assignment to be social.
And the team at Ensemble Arts Philly is laser focused on making every step of the show-going process stress-free.
With more people working at home, we have to make that experience worth getting off the couch.
There's great discounts in regards to parking.
There are about 15,000 parking spots within blocks of our venues. There's valet along the Avenue of the Arts.
There are bike racks that are here, Uber.
As you're buying tickets, you can make your dinner reservations as well.
We love when we come to certain shows and they have featured cocktails that are big. Oh.
We are all about a theme. We love themes.
While the Kimmel Center doesn't host any Broadway shows, the building is home to all kinds of special experiences.
I tell someone what I do and they want to tell me about how they got married here or they graduated here.
We do blood donations.
We're also a voting location.
We have thousands of people each year for Fall Arts Fest. We have dozens of arts groups that come and show what's happening in the season ahead.
Oh, it's my favorite job.
Danny Allen leads the effort to provide free education programs to 35,000 students a year.
Good morning.
While everyone is championing STEM, we like to say it is STEAM because the arts are essential to that.
What school are you from?
We do a program here called Jazz for Freedom.
To teach the students about the general concepts of jazz.
Sound All Around, which marries storytelling with music, has been a tradition for generations of music lovers.
We introduce our littlest learners to the instruments of the orchestra.
There are free open rehearsals and free summer programs.
I would say the Kimmel Center had a big part in me getting on Broadway.
South Jersey native Nadja Hayes just made her Broadway debut as a dancer in The Wiz.
I was a dancer from when I was born.
But she says it was the after-school theater program at the Kimmel Center where she got her first lessons in singing and acting.
Oh, you saved me.
Our education programs are designed to be a pipeline to professional careers in the arts.
And it was also for free, so we didn't have to pay for it.
Nadja isn't the only success story.
We have Shafiq Hicks, who did the national tour of Rent. In the world of jazz, we have people like Emmanuel Wilkins and Anwar Marshall.
There are some musicians in the Philadelphia Orchestra that did participate in some of our programs when they were younger.
The Philadelphia Orchestra and Ensemble Arts is a nonprofit organization.
We are able to serve tens of thousands of students each year, thanks solely to the generosity of individuals, businesses, and foundations.
Donations get new audiences into the venues and support the upkeep of the buildings.
Ticket prices only cover a fraction of the cost.
Is this your first time at the Kimmel Center?
Art can touch anyone. We just have to expose people.
We have free performances throughout the year.
But we also give away tickets to teachers and students in the school district of Philadelphia.
Any teacher or administrator in the Philadelphia schools can always attend any Philadelphia Orchestra performance for free. This is about building a better society.
It is a way for people to find escape and relief from their everyday lives.
It allows us to, no matter what our background is, to come together.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
The Bruce sisters are looking forward to seeing even more Broadway shows in the new year.
Hello.
After 17 years of loyal subscribing, they've worked their way up to some of the best seats in the house.
We're in the front row.
And the funny thing, when we saw Ain't Too Proud, they were so close we could even smell their cologne.
And they smelled good.
I love them. The Bruce sisters say they've created a community in those front row seats, surrounded by other subscribers that they see at every show.
We see what's on tap for the Philadelphia Orchestra when we come back, including a once-in-a-generation performance. We are back at the Academy of Music.
It's one of 3 venues for Broadway shows presented by Ensemble Arts Philly.
It's also the original home of the Philadelphia Orchestra.
And for the Grammy-winning Fabulous Philadelphians, this season is being called the most ambitious yet.
The orchestra's season offers a mix of classical favorites
by Beethoven, by Tchaikovsky, by Brahms, by Dvorak,
and new works
by Gabrielle Elena Frank, by Valerie Coleman.
Yuja Wang returns this month to play Tchaikovsky's Piano Concerto.
She is possibly the greatest pianist to come out of China.
The orchestra will perform Mahler's 6th and 9th symphonies in 2025.
I'm particularly excited about Mahler's 6th Symphony this April. It's called the Tragic Symphony, but it's anything but that.
The ensemble will play Stravinsky's The Firebird in April as well.
Firebird is one of Stravinsky's greatest creations.
It's the piece that launched the composer's career, and the orchestra will play the entire ballet score.
It's a great Russian fairy tale that we bring to life.
This is the 2nd season for the Spotlight Recital series,
highlighting the best of the best artists and putting them center stage alone.
And there's a new, more relaxed series called Orchestra After 5.
We turn Commonwealth Plaza into a happy hour.
You can come right after the office. You can have your cocktail, grab a snack.
There's live music, performances in the lobby, scavenger hunts throughout the hall.
It's all leading up to an early performance at 6:30.
The next Orchestra After 5 is January 30th, featuring Holst, The Planets.
If you've heard any of John Williams' music, particularly in Star Wars, this was the influence.
It's followed by Brass and Brash on March 27th, showcasing the orchestra's brass section.
And Shostakovich's 5th Symphony, which is one of his most uplifting pieces.
This is the orchestra's first full season in the newly named Marian Anderson Hall.
I am a little black girl from Philadelphia. I struggle to think of a time where I've walked into a concert hall named for someone who looks like me.
The Philadelphia-born Anderson was one of the most celebrated singers of the 20th century.
A trailblazer as an artist, but also human rights activist.
And she was pretty strong in her beliefs that music could make a difference.
You don't know who's gonna see her name and learn about her and be inspired. She just represents possibility.
The renaming is just the start.
We are so honored to be partnering with the United Negro College Fund in a new scholarship.
It will provide students with funding that are in disciplines related to the art.
The orchestra is continuing its commitment to elevate historically marginalized voices.
Not just black artists, but queer artists, female artists.
Composers like Florence Price.
She wrote for herself because nobody would perform her music because of her gender and the color of her skin.
And the music is phenomenal. The Philadelphia Orchestra won its first Grammy for recording the music of Florence Price.
Yannick right now is leading the Philadelphia Orchestra in a new golden era. We're attracting the best players from around the world. Like, this orchestra has an all-star membership.
It is harder to get a job in the Philadelphia Orchestra than it is to win a job in the NBA.
The legendary Marin Alsop is the orchestra's new principal guest conductor. And the musicians serve as cultural ambassadors with frequent trips to China and around the globe.
We have 102 musicians. We like to view ourselves as Philadelphia's greatest export.
Bringing the beauty of music to all ages.
There are 2 truly great family-friendly pieces that are perennial.
Peter and the Wolf has been captivating young listeners for generations.
It's an introduction to the musicians, the instruments of the orchestra.
So is Carnival of the Animals, with each creature represented by a different instrument.
We see grandparents bringing their grandkids, parents bringing their kids, kids bringing their parents to experience this year after year.
The Valentine's Day concert features legendary love stories.
Incredibly romantic music by Mendelssohn, Mozart, Leonard Bernstein, and John Williams.
And it's an ode to joy in May.
We'll be performing Beethoven's Ninth Symphony with Yannick.
One of the most inspiring and uplifting, ingenious pieces of music ever written.
His ode to joy. I promise you, you'll be singing in the aisles.
Every single week you come to the Philadelphia Orchestra, there's just one of these great masterworks. It's my favorite season yet.
It ends in June with Wagner's Tristan and Isolde.
It's a monumental work in 3 acts.
About 4 hours, but don't worry, there are intermissions.
The orchestra will be on stage. Tristan and Isolde will be singing on a platform up above the orchestra with a chorus behind them. It's going to be one of the highlights of the decade.
It will be the first time in its 125-year history that the orchestra has performed the complete opera.
We anticipate people will be traveling, frankly, from all around the country, if not internationally.
This is a destination event.
That is something I have to see.
Yes, you can find the full concert calendar and the link for tickets at 6abc.com/FYI, or just scan the QR code on your screen. We are back at the Academy of Music celebrating Broadway and the arts.
And Ensemble Arts Philly has a new food and beverage vendor.
Yeah, get this, Rhubarb Hospitality Collection by Oakview Group was founded in the UK. And guess what? They cater the royal palaces.
Ooh, I know you're excited about that. And they're bringing that elevated experience to all of the Ensemble Arts Philly venues.
Rhubarb Hospitality Collection has built a reputation for making the food and beverage experience as elevated as the art on stage.
We are an extension of the experience so that you're walking away and saying, that was a great night.
With drinks and snacks tailored seamlessly to specific shows.
Broadway, for example, we always have an amazing cocktail that we pair with whatever show is coming in.
Rhubarb comes to Ensemble Arts with an impressive pedigree.
We were founded about 30 years ago in London. We are the exclusive caterers to the historic palaces in London, UK, as well as Royal Albert Hall.
Skilled at creating experiences fit for a king and queen.
It's actually a worldwide brand now.
The premier hospitality company globally.
Ensemble Arts Philly patrons got their first taste of Rhubarb at the dedication of the Kimmel Center's Marian Anderson Hall.
We do everything here. We will provide weddings, birthday parties, special events, corporate events,
along with concessions at all Philadelphia Orchestra and Ensemble Arts shows.
There's technology that's being brought to that experience.
Goal is to get our guests through the line, get their delicious beverage, and then back into their show.
Soon, Rhubarb will premiere the Curtain Call Cafe in Commonwealth Plaza.
During the day, people can come and enjoy a cup of coffee, fresh-made pastries, and then at night have a cocktail and just a really fun, sexy experience.
And in 2025, we'll be launching our new restaurant.
There's a bar in the works too, and it's all geared towards creating a civic gathering space.
You can come and sit, you have free Wi-Fi. We're very much Philadelphia's living room.
And I think that that's what we're all here for. We're experiencing something together.
Excited to try that new restaurant and cafe.
And excited to see a show. You can find the link to subscribe or buy individual tickets at 6abc.com/FYI.
So many good shows coming here. Hope to see you there.